Screen stories are stepping into the spotlight in our new series, Does It Sing? Will these adaptations hit the high notes or fall flat? Let's find out. Hello, darlings, and welcome to Care Off Book. If you're new here, hi, I'm Carolyn, but you can call me Care. And if you're not new, welcome back. So, I created the series Does It Sing? Okay, this is the first episode. I need to calm down, but this is my idea, okay? So it's to explore whether it's a good idea to turn movies or shows into musicals. I'll admit it, I was skeptical when Legally Blonde the musical debuted. I was quite the critic. Yet, I ended up adoring what the creators did to make it a hit. It's easy to dismiss movie to musical adaptations as mere cash grabs, but some truly stand out, like Heathers, Waitress, and Moulin Rouge. To me, Broadway seems to be banking on jukebox and movie to musical adaptations because they can draw in audiences who are already fans of the original works, making it easier to fill theater seats. So let's dive into these adaptations and see if they truly deserve a standing ovation or if we think they missed the mark. Now, I know not all movies or shows start as originals. Many are adaptations from books, but let's be real. Most people don't flock to a musical because they've read the book. They come because they love the movie or show. I believe that anything can be turned into a musical, but that doesn't necessarily mean it should be. Adrian! Let's dive into The Queen's Gambit. Funny story, I just watched it with the professor and I'll be sharing some of my thoughts later. In case you don't know, The Queen's Gambit tracks the intense life of an orphan chess prodigy, Elizabeth Harmon. She's on a quest to become a top-tier chess player, navigating through her emotional struggles and dependencies on drugs and alcohol. The series, named after a chess opening, unfolds in the captivating backdrop of the mid-1950s and 60s. Now get this, there's a stage musical adaptation of The Queen's Gambit in the pipeline. This adaptation is based on Walter Tevis's best-selling novel, which also inspired the smash hit Netflix series. The creative team behind the exciting project is stellar. Oscar-nominated Mitski will be crafting the music and lyrics, playwright Ebony Booth is penning the book, and Obie Award winner Whitney White will direct. Mitski shared her excitement, noting her deep admiration for both the novel and the Netflix adaptation before joining the project. She expressed her eagerness to collaborate with Ebony and Whitney, highlighting the creative synergy among the team. Ebony Booth remarked on the originality of The Queen's Gambit and its themes of connection and finding one's path in life. She's thrilled to delve into Beth Harmon's complex and inspirational story on stage. Whitney White echoed these sentiments, emphasizing the universal themes of aspiration and self-discovery in Beth's journey, which resonates with her personally. All right, darlings, here's the big question. Can this show really sing? I mean, will it work as a musical? I haven't read the book, but one thing I really appreciate about the Netflix series was how it handled the character of Elizabeth Harmon. What struck me was the absence of, for YouTube purposes, SA, a common type that many shows lean on. Instead, they explored other deep issues like her abandonment, growing dependency on drugs and alcohol, and her relationship with her adoptive mother, who refreshingly didn't try to exploit her financially. There wasn't the usual dramatic flair you often see in series where something shocking happens just to keep viewers hooked. The focus remained solidly on Elizabeth and her life, showcasing her setbacks as well as her breakthroughs. It was a narrative that truly centered on her development and her journey, which was incredibly refreshing. I will say that when the ending came, I found myself rolling my eyes a bit. It felt somewhat like The Devil Wears Prada, okay? Like Elizabeth steps out of the car, even though she's got a plane to catch. It's like, seemingly like without a care for what's coming next. The final scene shows her playing chess with an old man in a park in Russia. It just left me a bit puzzled. Okay, was she playing for the sheer love of the game? Or did the older man remind her of the janitor, Mr. Scheibel, who taught her to play? The ending just left me feeling a bit empty, as if her dream of winning in Moscow didn't really matter, making me question the significance of her journey. Did you feel the same when you watched it? Just let me know in the comments. Also, tangent time. Can we talk about the cinematography? I think the director, Scott Frank, aimed for like some cool shots, but they ended up feeling a bit lackluster. Take the scene where Elizabeth arrives in Vegas. There's this long shot of her walking around, which I guess is meant to be dramatic until she runs into, I think it's Towns. The lighting in that scene was just too bright. The scenery wasn't particularly impressive, and it seemed like the shot was there more to fill space than to serve any real purpose. Compared to a film like Goodfellas, where we follow Henry into the club through the back. That scene, is iconic. It feels chaotic yet real as we weave through staff and kitchen, meeting various people along the way. It's a clever way to show why his date might start falling for him. He's known, he's respected, and smoothly navigates this complex environment because he knows where he's going. Then there's a modern example from The Gentleman. That's also on Netflix, and the director is Guy Ritchie. So if you like his stuff, you'll enjoy The Gentleman. But moving on. Okay, so there's this scene where Eddie and a guy are discussing things at a boxing match, that's potentially about to go on, whatever. Moving forward. So this shot struck me as fantastic because the dialogue is engaging and they brilliantly utilize natural sunlight. You can see the sun. With these kind of shots, you can't just, do a retake if something goes wrong. These scenes show how setting and cinematography can deeply enhance the storytelling, making characters and their worlds come alive in a way that feels authentic and compelling. Thank you for listening to my tangent, but okay, going back to whether this can work as a musical, I'm leaning towards no, and here's why. There's already a musical called Chess, which although it has great music, it isn't something I'd watch repeatedly. If they're planning to showcase what's going on in Elizabeth's mind as she visualizes the chess game, how will they do that? Will they use mirrors and to try to make it visually appealing each time on stage? Or will there be a chorus song accompanied by a montage of dance and high kicks? Maybe they'll choreograph the chorus to act as the chess pieces, similar to what they've tried in Prince of Egypt. Now, okay, while the chorus in Prince of Egypt was stunning, it sometimes pulled you out of the story because they represented the slaves in really nice costumes, I have to add, the burning bush, plagues, and more. It's a challenging balance to strike without detracting from the narrative. Even if they managed to create some amazing music, I'd be a bit annoyed if they wrote a song for the janitor to sing while they played chess. Part of what made the janitor's character so intriguing to me was the mystery around his thoughts until he finally expresses that he thinks Beth is an exceptional player. That subtlety is key. However, a possible workaround could be having Beth sing throughout their chess games, capturing her inner discoveries and emotions, while Mr. Scheibel chimes in occasionally with a line or two, when he's teaching the game. This way it keeps some of his mysterious aura intact while still allowing for a musical element. Overall, I'm casting my vote against this being the right time for this musical to come out. Next up, we've got Crazy Rich Asians, the musical. Now, this one actually gets me excited, but just in case you're not familiar, the story centers around Rachel Chu, who is thrilled to go with her longtime boyfriend Nick to his best friend's wedding in Singapore. Woohoo! She's in for a surprise when she finds out Nick's family is incredibly wealthy, and he's one of the country's most eligible bachelors. Suddenly in the limelight, Rachel has to navigate a world of jealous socialites, eccentric relatives, and something even more daunting. Bum bum bum! Nick's disapproving mother. Even John M. Chu is excited to direct the musical. This project is buzzing with excitement as it's being developed by Warner Brothers, Theater Ventures, and Kevin Kwan. Leah Nanako Winkler is penning the book with music by Helen Park and lyrics by Amanda Green and Tat Tong. They're aiming to bring this dazzling story to Broadway with a pre-Broadway engagement set to be announced soon. This venture would mark a Broadway debut for Chu, who not only directed the film version of Crazy Rich Asians, but also In the Heights and the highly anticipated two-part film adaptation of Wicked. I know, this is crazy to me. So the plan is that they're drawing from both the film and Kwan's original book trilogy. The stage adaptation promises to be a thrilling addition to The Great White Way. Okay, so here are my thoughts. I think this is a fantastic idea, and I can totally see this turning into an incredibly fun musical. Oh, imagine the wedding scene played out live, making us feel as if we're right there at the celebration. Oh, the thought alone is so thrilling. I could almost throw up from excitement. However, I know, there's just one thing that could dampen my enthusiasm, and it's the costumes and sets. If I'm going to see this, I want the full experience of the crazy richness of this family. The movie was like a love letter to Singapore, especially with that delicious food montage. By the way, I've been there, and the food truly is incredible. And the finale at Marina Bay Sands, which, yes, I visited too. It was just spectacular, okay? Now that I think about it, I was practically living the Rachel Chu journey because I was attending a wedding and hitting up spots just like in the movie. The movie was great, largely because Singapore is such a beautiful place. Honestly, I wouldn't mind living there. There's always something new to explore, eat, and ways to connect with people. But when it comes to translating that richness and opulence onto the stage, I'm skeptical they can match the grandeur I imagine. We've seen multiple musicals shut down because maintaining such elaborate set designs and movements can be financially overwhelming. Crazy Rich Asians is a fantastic story, but if the stage adaptation doesn't deliver the rich from its title, it would be a real letdown for me. Well, that's it for today's episode. I'd love to hear your thoughts on whether these developments should make their way to the musical stage or if they don't pique your interest. Now, again, even if I say, I don't think this will work as a musical, I said that about Legally Blonde and I was absolutely wrong. So who knows? Oh, and also let me know how you feel about this series idea. Like, does it sing? There's other projects and developments like Smash, and Death Becomes Her is about to debut soon, which I think is awesome. If there's a particular development you want us to talk about, just drop it in the comments below, okay? Let's just talk down there, darling. Okay, well, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're still here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, darling.